What is going on, everybody? Josh here from Mid Georgia Lawn Specialist. Hope everybody's having a good day. This weather's kind of crazy here in Georgia. It's December, I think 13th or 14th, something like that. But anyway, I've been working out in the yard today and I'm sweating. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. I had a little bit of free time today and I wanted to go over some of the equipment I have. And just kind of show you guys what I use on a daily basis. I've got some stuff that I don't use every day, but pretty much everything I have gets used and abused. But anyway, we're going to dive right into it. And before I do, that's another thing I wanted to mention. I've got a few subscribers now, so I'm kind of somebody. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I do want to say thank you to the subs that I have, the comments, the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. Alright, so let's dive right in. So first we'll talk about the pickup truck for just a minute. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on it. It's pretty run-of-the-mill pickup, nothing special about it. It's a 08 Nissan Titan. I've had it for about 4 or 5 years now. It's done really good. It does everything that I want it to do. I've never really towed anything real heavy with it, but as far as just my landscaping setup, it does awesome. So if you're in the market for a pickup truck and you don't want to spend a boatload of cash, these Titans are pretty affordable. And they're good trucks. We'll move along to the trailer. This particular trailer is a Big Tex 35 SA. It's 10 foot long and 6.5 foot wide, I believe. It's an excellent little trailer. I actually bought this from a customer of mine. He had it parked behind his house, and I'd cut his yard several times, and he actually had a boat that he was trying to sell, and he was asking me if I wanted it or if I knew anybody that did, and I said, no, I don't know about the boat, but I said I'd really like to have that trailer. So we wound up making a deal. But it's a nice trailer. It's 3,500 pound axle, which is beneficial. Of course, I'm not even nowhere near that much weight with my setup here, but it's nice to have. This is actually not the trailer that I started with. The trailer that I started with is over here. We'll go check it out real quick. This trailer actually belongs to my father-in-law. He bought it from a guy he works with, and quickly realized that he didn't have room for it, so he asked me if he could keep it over here, which of course I said yes. But anyway, I don't know the brand of this trailer, but it's a 16 foot, I believe it's 6.5 or 7 foot wide. It's a single axle, which is kind of odd to have a 16 foot trailer with a single axle, but it's a pretty big trailer. I pulled it for about 4 or 5 months with my stuff on it, and then wound up buying a smaller trailer, a lighter trailer. This thing doesn't look like much, but you put it behind a pickup truck, especially a 1500 or a F-150, or even at my Nissan, it's back there. It doesn't look like much, but it's pretty heavy. But like I said, I used it for about 4 or 5 months, and it worked out good, but I just needed something smaller, something lightweight. So I wound up buying a trailer of my own. Now, I have gone through a couple of trailers in the couple of years that I've been cutting. That first trailer that I was talking about that I bought, for myself, I wound up having it for about 4 or 5 months. It really wasn't big enough. It was a homemade trailer. It was a nice trailer. But it really wasn't big enough, so I wound up selling it. And in the time that I had that trailer, I wound up buying a really small trailer from another customer. I didn't have any intentions on using it because I think it was like a 4x8. It was tiny. But my intentions were to buy it and flip it. So I fixed it up, put some new tires on it, new wire and new lights, the whole deal, and sold it and made a little bit of money, and then wound up buying this Big Tex. Some advice that I would give somebody starting out, as far as the trailer goes, the 10 foot trailer is nice, and don't get me wrong, I love this little trailer, but if I was going to have to go back and do it again, I would probably try to find a 12-footer. My brother-in-law just bought a trailer not too long ago from some guys in Monticello. They build them down there, but he bought a 12-foot with, I believe, 2-foot tall sides on it that's got the expanded metal in it. And that's really nice. I know an extra 2 foot doesn't sound like a lot, but you know, when you're trying to pile debris on a trailer, or you know, whatever the case may be, that extra 2 foot is a big deal. The 2 foot tall sides are super nice. So if I had to go back and do it again, or if I had to, you know, give some advice to somebody who's just starting out, 10 foot is nice. But if you can swing a 12-foot, go ahead and get the 12-foot. So I guess we'll talk about the mower now. This is a Gravely ZT HD. It's a 48-inch cut. It's got the Kawasaki on it. It is an excellent mower for the price. When I bought this mower, the salesman that I talked to was asking me a bunch of basic questions on how much I was planning on cutting, and you know, all that good stuff. Of course, the next model up from this one would be getting into their Pro Turn series, which is a full-blown commercial mower. I talked to the guy and told him what I was going to be doing with it, and for the price, the ZTHD is very, very hard to beat. And I know everybody's got their own brands and you know, things like that they're more partial to, and that's fine. I understand. But if you're just getting into this and you want something that's going to last you a while, and you don't want to pay the commercial mower price, the ZTHD is where it's at. It's got a super thick, I believe, a 10 gauge or 11 gauge deck. It's all fabricated. I'm not sure about the other brands, but I know Gravely uses Hydro Gear for their hydrostatic drives. If you go on their website, I believe the ZTHD has a 3100 series, which, according to Hydro Gear, is a commercial grade transmission or transaxle, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, you're getting a lot of mower for the price. So, like I said, if I was going to give some advice to somebody who's just getting into the business, you know, the ZTHD is a great option, especially when you're talking about price. This is not the mower that I started with. When I first started cutting, I had a Snapper 250Z, which, if you don't know what a 250Z is, you can Google it real quick, and I'll try to find a picture of one and throw it up. I don't have the mower anymore, or I would show it to you, but it's basically a residential zero turn. There really wasn't nothing fancy about it. It was a stamped deck. I believe mine was a 42 or a 44-inch cut or something like that. Anyway, I threw out some business cards and had a couple phone calls, lined up a couple of yards, went and cut 1 yard. It was great. Went and cut the second yard. One of the hydrostatic drives went out, and I almost didn't get the thing back on the trailer. So I come home and I'm, you know, all the wind was completely taken out of my sail, because I made my mind up that I'm gonna cut grass, I'm gonna make money, and it's gonna be good. Second yard, mower takes a dump. So anyway, long story short, I talked about it with my wife, and we decided that you know, if I was gonna do it, I need to go ahead and do it. So went ahead and bought this mower. I think like the next day I run up to the dealership and bought this mower, and it's been awesome. I have no complaints. I think I've got like 400 hours on it, and it's worth every penny. Alright guys, so we got the mower covered, got the trailer covered, got the pickup truck covered. I guess we can move along to some of the string trimmers and stuff that I have. I actually don't have the string trimmer or the backpack blower that I started with. I still have them, I just don't have them here. But I'll talk about those as we go along. One thing I do want to say to you know, anybody that might be getting into the business, these trimmer racks, this is actually a Green Touch trimmer rack. It is worth its weight in gold. I mean, I know you get online and do some reviews, and a lot of people say they don't like them. You know, they're kind of a pain, they're a hassle, blah blah blah. These things are awesome. I actually bought this rack right here used. I just kind of got lucky, found it on Facebook Marketplace, which you don't never really find any of this kind of stuff on Facebook ever. So when I seen it, I shot the guy a message. We worked out a deal, and I went and picked it up. So, but anyway, these trimmer racks, especially the Green Touch, the reason I like them, they've got these aluminum like pucks, I guess you would call it, just bolts to the shaft of the trimmer. This one's just got a little finger that comes off of it that sticks in this little hoop. This one back here is where the magic happens. So to pull this thing off, you lift up on this and just pull the trimmer out. I mean, it's, you know, and then you get it lined back up. I don't know if I can do it with one hand. There we go. But anyway, now that's in there, it's secure. If you move up the little tower here, there's a lock in here, and then at the very top there's a little lever. You turn that lever like that, push that lock in, and all this stuff is super secure. If somebody was going to try to steal something, even after it's locked, they would have to destroy the trimmer or whatever they're trying to get out to even, you know, get to it. But basically what I'm saying is there's no way that you're going to be able to steal anything unless you destroy the trimmer. And I mean, if I was going to steal a trimmer, I wouldn't want it destroyed, you know. So anyway, but the trimmer rack is awesome, and there's other brands. I know Equipment Defender supposedly makes a nice one. I haven't never used it, or I don't know anybody that has one, so I can't really comment on that. But if you're first starting out, spend the money on a good trimmer rack. And you know, I was real close to going and buying a brand new one. I think the 3-slot ones, I think they sell for like the $300 or $350 range, which is a lot of money. But if you've got a $250 or $300 edger, a $300 weed eater, and a $300 or $400 hedge trimmer, I mean, it doesn't make sense to not spend $300 on a trimmer rack. You can lock that stuff up, because, you know, like I was riding around with this stuff in the back of my truck along with my blower, and nobody's going to walk by and say, you know, well, there's all this stuff in the back of the truck. I think I just want the string trimmer. Now they're going to take everything. So, like I said, dollar amount, go ahead and spend the money. Get you a good trimmer rack, something you can lock it, keep all your stuff secure, because there's nothing I hate more than a thief, and especially if, you know, somebody's going to steal your tools that you make money with. So all right, so I'll get off my rant about that. I've got a stihl FC70 edger, a FS100 RX string trimmer, and an HL45 hedge trimmer. Every one of these was bought used. I didn't have none of this stuff when I first started. Well, I bought the edger not long after I started. It was maybe about 3 or 4 months, and I wound up buying the edger. Now the string trimmer, like I said before, the string trimmer that I started with, I still have it, I just don't have it here. It is a FS56 RC, I believe is what it is. If you're just getting into the business and you don't want to go spend $300 on a string trimmer, that 56 is well worth the money, and I believe it's in the low $200 range. And you know, it's a really good trimmer for the money. But like I said, I started with that. Bought this 100 used. Bought the hedge trimmers used. You know, and I'm really making it a point to talk about the equipment I have that's used, because I know you can get screwed buying used equipment, especially two-stroke stuff. But you know, at the end of the day, not a lot of us have thousands of dollars to go out and just buy brand new stuff. If you do, that's nice. You know, and once you get your business established and you start making good money, you're putting some money in the bank, you can slowly replace your equipment with brand new stuff. You know, if you're first starting out, don't run out and get a credit card or take out a loan or whatever to just buy a bunch of brand new equipment. I'm living proof that you don't have to do that to be successful. And not saying I've got all the success in the world, because I don't, but I'm just saying that to prove a point. So we'll move on around the trailer here. I've got a couple of gas cans right there. I've tried to keep a 5-gallon can, and I believe that's a 2-gallon can, or maybe a gallon and a half for mix. The 5 gallons for regular, and then the smaller can there's for mix. I keep this ladder. This is a Werner, I believe. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's one of those extendable kind of flip out deals. It's really, really nice. I think I paid, I think it was like 120 or 130 bucks or something for it, but it'll stretch all the way out to like 21 or 22 feet, which I don't never ever take it that high, but I'm not a big fan of heights, but it is nice to have, and you can fold it out like an A-frame style, and it's really solid, you know, to get up and trim some tall shrubs or, you know, whatever. I've got just a standard 6-inch piece of PVC pipe. I've got this secured with a piece of angle iron. I just run a couple of bolts in this little front, the framework of the trailer. Bolted it in there, and then use some hose clamps to secure it to the angle iron. It works out really good. If I had to go back and do it again, I would probably get like an 8 or 10-inch piece of PVC. The 6-inch works good, but just with the couple of things I've got in there, it gets pretty tight. And it's really not that big of a deal, but it's a pain when you pull a shovel or a rake out, and then you have to like kind of jam it back in there. But anyway, I've just got the miscellaneous stuff here. A set of these loppers right here. If you don't have anything like this, go spend the money. You don't have to buy real fancy ones. You can get a cheap set like this. I mean, I've had these forever. Look, I've even run them over with a lawnmower one time and like blew the end of the handle off. But these things are a lifesaver. I've got an action hoe right there. If you don't have one of those, go buy one. I think I bought that one at Ace. It's like 20 bucks. It's really, really good for, you know, for flower beds, especially if you get somebody that's got some stuff that's kind of overgrown, weeds kind of popping up everywhere. You can take that action hoe and really get down there and get into them roots, and it's quick. And that's the big thing with this business. The faster you are, the more money you make. So go get you one of those if you ain't got one. Let's see, we'll ease on over here and look at some of this other stuff. This little guy right here, it actually runs really good, and it performs really well. It's just kind of bulky. You know, if I get a job that's, you know, if it hadn't been edged in forever, you know, when I say forever, I mean like years, then I'll break this thing out just because it's a lot easier on you. It's easier on the equipment because this thing's got so much more power than that stick edger. It's also a little easier on your back because you just, you know, with this guy, you just kind of set it down in there and just kind of walk it, and it's really effortless. But I don't carry it with me every day, just because I don't need it every day. But it is a handy little tool, and this one, I believe this one was bought from Home Depot, I think, and they're relatively inexpensive. So, but again, not completely necessary. We'll move along to the backpack blower. It's a BR600. I actually just bought this maybe 3 or 4 months ago. The blower that I started with, I still have it, but again, I don't have it here. It is a Husqvarna BT 130, I think. I know it's a 130. I'm not 100% sure on the letters. I'm pretty sure it's a BT 130. But anyway, that blower, that Husqvarna, it is a teeny tiny blower, and I'll try to pull a picture of one up and just throw it up. I started with that, and I was doing, I had 20 plus accounts with that little bitty blower, which I wasn't doing a lot of leaf jobs, but blowing off driveway, sidewalk, stuff like that when you get done servicing a property. And it was taking me forever, but I stuck with it. I actually bought it used, and I bought it from a guy that I worked with at the time. And it was just a great little blower. There was nothing wrong with it. It was super weak, but there was nothing wrong with it. It fired up second, third pull every time, and it helped make me a good bit of money. So, I really wasn't in a hurry to run out and buy a bigger, badder blower. Come across this one. It was also used. It was a decent deal. I did come out better as far as money goes, buying this one than buying a brand new one. But I know with brand new you get the warranty and all that. But if you haven't watched any of my other videos, I work on my own stuff, so I'm not super duper concerned with warranty unless the thing just grenades, which at that point I could get with stihl and probably get something done about that. But anyway, the BR600 is an awesome blower for the money. I know they make a lot bigger ones now. I think they make like a 900 now. The only bad thing that I've heard about those blowers is they're very, very heavy. If you go out and do a leaf job, or you're going to have it on your back for several hours at a time, this 600 is really about as heavy as I want to go. Some people might like the 800, the 700, whatever. Everybody's got their own preference, and that's fine. But for me, power to weight ratio, the 600 is probably the best bet. I've also got a set of, well, not a set, but I've got another hedge trimmer here. This is an HS80. It's also a stihl. These are very old. I wound up getting these from a friend of mine. It actually belonged to his grandfather. So these have been around for a while. But when I first got it, it didn't run. I did my normal thing, carburetor, spark plug, all that good stuff. Got it running, and on these two strokes, a lot of the times you can pull the muffler off and get a really good look at the cylinder, just to be 100% sure that the cylinder's not gouged up or anything like that. This one actually looked really good, so put it all back together, and I've been using it ever since. And you want to talk about some power? I know they don't make the 80s anymore, but I think now they make an 85, or I could be wrong, but as far as power goes, these little dudes right here will bring it. I can zip right through stuff that's like the size of your thumb, which is nice. Especially when you get those jobs where you really have to cut back and, cut shrubs way back. You got customers that want to cut them back for the winter or something like that. It's awesome for that. It's my little chainsaw. It's an Echo CS400. I actually bought this. This was also bought used, but I bought it from a friend of mine. Long story short, he bought this chainsaw and a couple other things, and then wound up having to get rid of them. So when he was talking about getting rid of it, I just gave him a call, and I said, man, I need a chainsaw, so what do you got to have for it? We made a deal, and I've been using the crap out of it ever since. It's got an 18-inch bar, which is nice. I wouldn't recommend getting anything bigger unless you're really going to get into doing tree work and stuff. Me personally, I really don't get big into tree work. I mean, I'll limb trees up and stuff like that, but you know, for a majority of what I do, 18-inch bar is gracious plenty. And in my personal opinion, anything bigger than 18, you can get yourself in trouble real quick. Trees don't look that tall from the ground. When they start falling, they get taller. But anyway, this saw's been awesome. Like I said, I've used the crap out of it. I would like to get maybe a stihl, like a limb saw, you know, something smaller. And my neighbor's actually got one, but I can't remember the model number. But it's a really tiny saw. It's got maybe like a 14-inch bar or something like that. And it's real compact. It's lightweight. It's real nice for, you know, limbing up trees and stuff like that. I may try to invest in one of those sometime in the future, but right now this does everything I want it to do, so we're gonna roll with it. I think that's pretty much it. I've got a small sprayer, like a little 2.5 gallon sprayer. I do want to upgrade to a backpack sprayer just because that little 2 or 2.5 gallon sprayer, it does fine, but you know, if you're spraying a long fence line or, you know, whatever the case may be, it runs out quick, and it's for the small stuff around houses, it's fine, but you start getting into spraying, you know, like I said, long fence lines and stuff like that, I don't know, it's just a backpack sprayer would be way more suitable for something like that. There's one thing over here. I do have a push mower. I don't do a ton of push mowing, but you know, I've got it here for when I need it. It's a Toro with a Briggs motor. It's a 22-inch. It does really good, but like I said, I don't hardly ever break it out. Occasionally I'll take it with me just to hit a couple of spots, but I don't really use it a ton, so but I have it for when I need it. And y'all know about the Husqvarna. I was actually using it a little bit today. I think we're about ready to take it out and try to make a few dollars with it. I've just about got all the bugs worked out. I think I'm gonna go ahead and order a deck belt for it, but I don't know if I said that in the last video, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and get one and put it on just to be, you know, 100% sure that it ain't gonna cut loose when I'm out there cutting. But I think that's pretty much it, guys. I think we've pretty much covered everything. But you know, like I said, if you're getting into this business, you don't have to go spend a ton of money on equipment, and you know, you can get by with a lot less than what you think you can get by with, if that makes any sense. But well, guys, I appreciate y'all watching, hanging out with me. You know, comment, like, subscribe, you know the deal. Until next time, y'all take it easy.